Welcome to the video. I'm Luis R. Velasquez. I created the CGM method, and I also created the CSO method. You can read about the history of both of those in my books. This is the finished portrait, and from the time I started painting on it, I think I spent maybe 3 hours on it. I'll do a few touch-ups later. For the moment, I just want to show various videos that I took as I painted the portrait, and hope that you enjoy my procedure. Till November of 2023. Pretty soon the new year will be here, and I'm working on this portrait. I used a photo. Here you can see the back of the chalk that I used to trace the image. And then I used GPM, Glare Paint Medium. In this particular case, it was a dark color. And I did this just a few minutes ago. And the beauty is, it is ready for me to now apply a sealant to it. Because it has egg, I had to apply a sealant. Here I have Aguado. Those of you that have followed my writings know that Aguado is nothing more than the superior oil of the old masters with calcium carbonate chalk that is into a very soupy consistency. And that's what the word aguado in Spanish means, very loose and soupy. Okay, so now I'm going to take my aguado and I'm going to cover. Now, the other option you have, once you've done your GPN underdrawing, is to just use pure oil. But if you do the pure oil, then you need to wait until it's touch dry, which could be an overnight thing. Not too much of a wait. But if you're in a hurry, like I always am, then aguado. Because the aguado will, as you know, anytime you do any kind of an oil out or sealant, you must wipe it off. Okay, so now I'm going to turn off the camera so I can do the wipe off. Anytime that you apply an oil out or a sealant, then you must wipe it off immediately. All you want is the thinnest possible film. This is cheesecloth. I'm just going to wipe down and wipe it off. You can also use hospital quality gauze that's used on cuts. Now that took a little bit of the coloring off, but nothing really smeared. So let's do that again. That should do it. Now I'm ready to start to paint. The important thing to notice here, well, let me turn this off. Well, I have my palette set with various skin shades. I have the warm on top, and I have the cool ones down here at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is, I've already started to paint on the portrait. And you can see that the underpainting, the grayness shows through. That's not a problem. In fact, it's helpful because it becomes part of the nuances, which are done optically. In other words, I don't have to mix those. See that right there? I don't have to mix those values. I just paint on top of it, and the gray color shows through. And then as I layer this initial layer, then I can continue to build up as the color layers dry to achieve my actual color purity that I want. Once I lay in the first coloring all over, I like to paint with what you would call a mosaic approach. I will be painting different values. All over the skin area, and this is what you call the mosaic method that I've used. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to blend. It's hard to hold the camera and do this, so bear with me. While the camera was off, I added some white highlights in different areas. And now I'm going to change brushes. I've been using a kind of a soft sable to do the mosaic. And now I'm going to switch to a bristle, and I'll show you what I do that. This is a bristle, pretty stiff hog hair, natural hog hair. And I'm going to blend and the brush is dry. I'm going to blend by daubing. You can see what I'm going to do here. I'm daubing to get the blending done. Now, this is a process that's going to go back and forth, so it takes time. But you can see how I'm daubing. And all of a sudden, the hard shapes of the mosaic are disappearing, but I'm not losing the values. It's important to get your values. Like this white is a value that I want right there, and I'm going to be careful with it. I don't want to lose it. And right here. And the brush is not a large brush, and you kind of need that size to get into these areas like here. Now, here's the magic of natural hairs versus synthetic hairs. The bristle brush from a pig, at the very tip, is bifurcated. It splits at the very, very, very tip. And that little teeny bifurcation, and this camera's not going to show it, but you can see it for yourself. When you get a brush in your hand, is what's really blending my mosaic. And you just do it carefully. Sometimes you get a little bit of paint buildup on the brush, and then you wipe it off like this, and you want it to be dry so that you can continue to blend the mosaic carefully. All right, you can see what's happening there. I'm starting to really get this blend in. You don't need a blender brush, just a regular bristle brush, natural hair that has the bifurcated tips. That is your blender. All right, I'm going to continue to blend on my own. Welcome to Amazon.com. That's where I publish my books independently. Go there and look up my name and the letters CGM, and you'll see that I have 2 books. The bottom one in the dark cover is the one I first made. It's almost identical to this one, but this one here is the workbook edition. This is a print edition, and this here is a digital. Also in this print edition, I made 2 sections, separate sections. First section is all the recipes brought together in section 1, and the academic instruction on CGM and my 2 books, how to make Rembrandt's superior oil and how to make and use his wonderful emulsions are included. This one here is the digital and has basically the same, but it's totally arranged differently, and it's only digital. I hope that you enjoy both books, and thank you very much. Thank you for watching the video. The video is copyright protected under my name, 2023.